What's up, everybody? Sunkist here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over an Enclave Plasma Flamer build. This one will be a little bit different than some other builds, as we'll be focusing on using VATS, but hopefully you learn something new and enjoy the video. I'll ask right off the bat if you could like, subscribe, and hype the video if you're on mobile, and I'd like to know down in the comments, what is your favorite weapon in Fallout 76 currently, and I'll catch you at the end of the video. Ready to target the fusion cores. Oh yeah, oh my. All right, taking a look at our weapon today, we have an Enclave Plasma Rifle with the true Flamer barrel, so turning it into an Enclave Plasma Flamer, if you will. Legendary rolls on it are Furious, Rapid, VATS optimized, because we will be using this in VATS, and Conductors, because that'll help us keep our AP. Have the Prime Capacitor on there, again, like I mentioned, the true Flamer barrel, the stabilized stock. Short recon scope for if I do aim down sights with it. I occasionally will, but I mostly use this in VATS. And then we just have the default appearance on there. Now, this is spec'd a little bit differently than a standard Enclave Plasma Flamer. Normally, you probably have like +3 intelligence as the 3rd star, or maybe reload speed or something like that. And then maybe have pinpointers as the 4th star. But again, this is a VATS focused Enclave Plasma Flamer, so this is how we have it kitted out. And I'll go over in just a moment how you can get the mods for this. Now, in order to get the mods to turn your Enclave Plasma gun into an Enclave Plasma Flamer, you're going to need to vendor hop and go between servers. Can be quite tedious sometimes, unfortunately, but it's the only way to do it. So go between Berkeley Springs Station, Watoga Shopping Plaza, and Watoga Station. So essentially check all 3 of those on a server and then hop to a new server. It will take a long time, but eventually you'll get the mods you need. And if you just need Enclave Plasma weapons, do Enclave events, and somewhat frequently you'll actually be rewarded with just getting a regular Enclave Plasma weapon. You also can get box mods or potentially get Enclave Plasma weapons that have Flamer attachments on them from doing Enclave events. So I would just say vendor hop, and if you see any Enclave events pop up, go ahead and do those too. So for armor, this is not fully optimized for this build specifically, but it will work pretty good. We do have a full set of Vulcan with 4 pieces of Nocturnals, 1 piece Chameleon. That'll give us extra AP, +2 agility as a 2nd star for extra AP. Through Hikers, just because that'll save us for 4 points in the perk cards, so you don't have to run Through Hikers and you don't have to run Traveling Pharmacy. We have limit breaking, so we can crit every other shot. Now, if you really wanted to maximize damage with this build, you could run +2 intelligence as the 2nd star on this armor. Could put something a little bit more tanky related if you'd like for the 1st star, but I don't mind kind of just running up to an enemy if it is really tanky, just crouching and then, you know, spamming the EPF. It works okay, but this is also the same armor I use for my VATS heavy weapon build, so it works good enough for me in that regard. Taking a look at our loadout here, we have 10 strength, 7 perception, 6 endurance, 3 charisma, 5 intelligence, 10 agility, and 15 luck. Moving into our actual perk cards, we have Taking One for the Team legendary card, and then we have a few maxed out special cards as the other legendaries. So starting off with strength, we have easy target and scatter shot, just because we will be trying to cripple enemies, so this will definitely help us do some more damage there. We are using bullet storm and lock and load, just because this weapon does have 144 round mag, so you can make use of bullet storm at least a little bit. Pain Train, since we'll be running power armor, this is actually kind of a fun thing to do. Honestly, just sprint up to an enemy with your power armor, stagger them, and then let it rip with the Enclave Plasma Flamer. So this is more of the fun factor, not really needed, but I do enjoy using Pain Train. 1 rank of Arms Keeper, and then we have Brick Wall, since we don't want to get staggered while we're close to enemies. Over in over in Perception, we have Number Cruncher, Tormentor, Tank Killer, Smart Shot, and Concentrated Fire, and all of these are just for extra damage. Smart Shot is for when we're not using VATS, but I will be primarily using VATS, so this is just kind of a more of a in case, or if you run out of AP or something like that. In Endurance, we have Life Giver, Ironclad, Through Hiker, Starch Jeans, and Glowing Gut. In Charisma, we have Strange in Numbers to buff our mutations. This will directly buff our critical damage, since it'll buff the amount of extra crit damage we get from Blight Soup, since we're herbivore, and it also will buff the crit damage we get from Eagle Eyes. Squad Maneuvers to get extra movement speed, as we want to close the distance on enemies as fast as possible. Power User, since we're running Power Armor with this build. Science for extra damage with the Enclave Plasma Flamer. Batteries included. One rank of Gunsmith, so that we don't break the Enclave Plasma Flamer as fast as it would normally break. It does break pretty quickly. Good Assault. And then we pretty much have all the Gunslinger / Onslaught perk cards maxed out. And then we have 2 ranks of Enforcer for some limb damage. Over in Luck, we are fully spec'd into VATS criticals, so we have better criticals, 4-leaf clover, class freak, critical savvy, faulty spots, and glowing criticals. So the main difference here is if you're running human, obviously you're not going to have glowing criticals and faulty spots here. So you could take those and put maybe Tenderizer on. If you're running Bloodied, you could take some of the perk cards from here and run Nerd Rage here. You'll obviously need to run more Tinky related, cards and Endurance. But if you want the most out of this build, I recommend being a Ghoul. If not, honestly, your most important part for damage is just having all the Onslaught cards. You're not going to get too much more damage out of a human build unless you're running Bloodied and have Nerd Rage. Taking a quick look at our mutations, we have Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Herbivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. I probably should have Adrenal Reaction on here. I thought I did, not sure what happened to it, but you'll definitely do more damage if you have Adrenal Reaction, so highly recommend running that. And then for buffs, don't have it active now, but I run Cycle Buff when I can. And I run Company T, and then also not active right now, but since we are running VATS with this, we do run. Oh, excuse me, caught me maybe on here. Also running Blight Soup for extra crit damage. All right, looks like we got one to land here. Let's see how we do. Looks like we got 2. Except for I'm getting staggered, so that's a problem. Yeah, that absolutely melted that one. Yeah. Apologies on the nuke sound in advance, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can fight a behemoth. That looks like we got one active here. Yeah, gets work done pretty good. I mean, that melted pretty damn good. And I mean, you know, the bounty enemies are pretty tanky, so it's getting stuff done. All right, we're gonna do battle bots now, just because it's actually somewhat of a tanky enemy, so figured we'll just give it a try here. You're ready to target the fusion cores. Oh yeah, oh my. I don't know how many of you actually do battle bots, but that thing is actually pretty tanky, and it just absolutely obliterated it. All right, we're over at the Sunrise Field. We're gonna go ahead and do some testing on the Mirelurks. I want to make sure I do have 16. Yep, I have 18 specials, so should be able to run right into these guys here. Kills. I took them both right down. I didn't even need to use the, I didn't seem to activate there. All right. Yeah, I mean, it just melts. Quite literally. I mean, it is a flamer, so. Oh boy, I can't see anything. I can actually hit this thing, man. And now it's crippled, so I can actually hit it. Yeah, and once it actually gets a hit on what you're trying to shoot at, it just melts. Thank you so much for making it to this point of the video. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe so you can stick around for future content. If you'd like to check out my previous video, that will be on screen now, and I hope to catch you in the next video. See you next time.